You checked the closet. You checked under the bed. You said, "There's nothing there, sweetheart." 2 minutes later, "There's something in my room." You checked again. You left again. And it started again. Here's what no one tells you. Every time you say, "There's nothing to be scared of," you are making your child's fear worse. Not better. Worse. Because their brain isn't doing what you think it's doing. In the next 8 minutes, I'll show you exactly what happens inside your child's brain when the lights go out, why a tiny structure called the amygdala is hijacking their bedtime, and 3 strategies from neuroscience research that actually stop the cycle. A 2021 brain imaging study from Monash University in Australia put people inside an MRI scanner and alternated between light and darkness. What they found, in the dark, the brain's fear center becomes significantly more active. When the light turns on, that activity drops immediately. Your child isn't making it up. Their brain is literally wired to be afraid of the dark. And the way most parents respond is the exact opposite of what the science says to do. Welcome to the parenting brain, where we take real research from neuroscience and child psychology and turn it into something you can use tonight. 3 things coming. 1. What's really happening inside your child's brain in the dark? 2. The 3 reasons children fear the dark and none of them mean something is wrong. 3. What the research says works, because the most common advice makes it worse. Let's go. Deep inside your child's brain sits a small, almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. Think of it as the brain's alarm system. Its only job is to scan for danger. That Monash University study I just mentioned, led by Dr. Elise McGlashan, used fMRI brain scans to measure amygdala activity in real time. In the dark, the amygdala fires up. In the light, it calms down. Moderate light suppressed amygdala activity more than dim light. So the fear isn't psychological, it's neurological. The darkness itself triggers the alarm. Now here's why this is worse for children than for adults. In adults, the prefrontal cortex, the rational, decision-making part of the brain, can override the alarm. It says, "You're safe, it's just your bedroom." But in children under 7, the prefrontal cortex is still under construction. It won't fully mature until the mid-20s. So when the lights go out, are the alarm rings. And the part of the brain that could turn it off isn't ready yet. That's not weakness. That's architecture. And this is far more common than most parents realize. A study by Dr. Peter Muris at Maastricht University found that over 73% of children between ages 4 and 12 reported nighttime fears. Here's the part that should concern you. Parents significantly underestimated how afraid their children actually were. Your child is not the exception. They are the majority. Let's talk about why. The first reason is what researchers call the imagination explosion. Between ages 2 and 4, your child develops the ability to think in symbols and images. This is a massive cognitive leap. It's how they learn language, storytelling, and creative play. But the same brain that invents magical kingdoms during the day populates dark bedrooms with monsters at night. Research on children's fantasy-reality distinction shows that children under 6 cannot consistently tell the difference between what is imagined and what is real. Their prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for making that call, is years away from being ready. When your child says there's a monster in the closet, they are not lying. Their brain cannot confirm that it's not there. The second reason is sensory deprivation. When you turn off the lights, you remove your child's primary sense, vision. And the brain does not handle this quietly. A study published in Biological Psychiatry by Grilon and colleagues found that the human startle response is amplified in darkness compared to well-lit conditions, even in adults. And here's what makes it worse for children. When the visual cortex loses input, it doesn't shut off. It starts generating images based on memory, expectation, and emotional state. In an anxious child, those internally generated images tend to be threatening. Your child literally sees things in the dark, not because they're making it up, but because that's what brains do when visual information disappears. The third reason is learned fear. Research by Dr. René Garcia at Aix-Marseille Université shows that fear can be acquired three ways: direct experience, observation, or information. In the Muri study, nearly 80% of children attributed their nighttime fears to negative information, things they heard, saw on screens, or were told by other people. A scary movie, a ghost story from an older sibling, even a well-meaning warning like, "Don't get out of bed or the boogeyman will get you." Children absorb these messages, and the dark becomes the stage where every one of them comes alive. So what actually works? Let's look at what the research says. Strategy 1. Build a predictable bedtime routine. This is the single most evidence-backed intervention for nighttime fear. A landmark review by Dr. Jody Mindell at St. Joseph's University and the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia found that consistent bedtime routines don't just improve sleep. They improve emotional regulation, reduce anxiety, and strengthen parent-child attachment. Here's why it works. Predictability calms the nervous system. When a child knows exactly what comes next, bath, then teeth, then story, then lights out, their brain stops spending energy on uncertainty. Less uncertainty means less fuel for the amygdala. The key word is consistent. Same sequence, same environment. 5 or more nights per week. Think of it as a signal to your child's brain. Everything is in order. Nothing unexpected is coming. Strategy 2. Graduated exposure. This comes from cognitive behavioral therapy, the gold standard for treating childhood fears. Research shows exposure therapy is 80 to 90% effective for specific phobias, including fear of the dark. Here's how it works at home. Start with a bright nightlight. Over several weeks, gradually dim it. Or start with the bedroom door wide open. Slowly close it a few inches each week. The principle is simple. Your child experiences small, manageable doses of darkness, and nothing bad happens. Over time, their brain rewrites the association. Dark equals safe. You can make it a game, sit together, turn off the lights for 5 minutes, and wait for their eyes to adjust. Then, name everything you can see. Turn the light on and check. Fear becomes curiosity. Strategy 3. Validate without reinforcing. This is where most parents accidentally make things worse. 2 common mistakes. Dismissing. Don't be silly, there's nothing there. Or reinforcing. Doing elaborate monster checks, spraying monster spray. The first tells your child their feelings are wrong. The second tells them there might actually be something to find. Instead, try this. I understand you feel scared. That feeling is real, and your room is safe. Your brain is learning to be comfortable in the dark, and I'm right here. Name the feeling. Affirm the child. State the fact. That's the formula. Let's bring it together. When your child says, "I'm scared of the dark," their amygdala is on high alert. Their imagination is filling the darkness with threats. And the prefrontal cortex that could override all of it isn't finished yet. Your child doesn't need to be braver. They need a predictable routine, gentle exposure, and a parent who validates without feeding the fear. The goal isn't a child who is never afraid. The goal is a child who learns, slowly, safely, that they can handle the dark. If this video changed how you think about bedtime, that's exactly what the parenting brain is here for. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video. And tell me in the comments, what is your child most afraid of at bedtime? I read every single one. See you next one.